So we've learned how the mirror system can be involved in action understanding. That because we have some motor experience, we can then understand others who are engaging in similar behaviors. We can understand their behavior from the inside, as it were. This diagram captures a sort of the history of how the mirror system is going to link up actions and perceptions. So imagine the parent here is out with their child. The child has an exceptionally large brain here, but the parent is sort of teaching the child about a ball, right? And so the kid here is seeing the ball, so the perceptual system is registering the person, the parent, and the ball down by the feet and so on. And this might be the first time the child has heard the word ball, right? But the parent not only names the ball, of course, joint attention helps to transfer that information, but the adult is also now going to perform an action on the ball. And so the adult says, kick it like this. And so now the adult kicks. So think about it from the point of view of the child's mirror system. What the child is doing then is registering sort of a perception. Here the child is seeing a ball and hearing the word ball, so it might be learning the association between the word ball and the object. It's also watching, right, the adult kick the ball, so perform an action on the ball. But see, then what happens is that the parent demonstrates, and then the child goes ahead and tries to kick the ball as well. See, so now when the kid kicks the ball, now the kid is developing the motor routines to kick the ball. Notice then that as we teach each other and as children imitate the behaviors of others, what's happening here is that the mirror system is linking up perceptions of the actions and the motor programs to perform actions on those objects. So in this case, then, the child will link their own motor program for kicking the ball with the perception of somebody else kicking the ball. So in the future, then the mirror system will be able to recognize somebody else kicking and then activate the very same motor program for kicking that the child has stored through its experience. But even beyond that, linking the perception of kicking with the action of kicking, we also are creating a link just to the perception of the ball with the action of kicking. And this is how concepts then can get automatically linked with the behavioral procedure that is associated with the concept. So for the child's brain, even now just seeing a ball can activate the motor programs that are associated with balls. What do we do with balls? We kick them, right? Of course, that's if you live in a culture where that's what you do with balls. So again, it's not just that the mirror system will help us understand actions, the intentions of individuals, like, oh, this person wants to kick the ball. But now even we can, the mirror system is activating motor programs even when we just see an object. Okay, so let's return, though, to the concept of imitation here. Various scholars argue that maybe this mirror neuron system has undergone an evolutionary change in the human species, different from the chimps. And the suggestion is that perhaps we are world-class imitators precisely because we have evolved different neural systems, improved neural systems for imitation. What is imitation, right? Well, you're going to perceive somebody do something, and then you're going to perform the act. And we've seen evidence that chimpanzees can imitate, but what they don't do is over-imitate. You'll recall that human children, even if they see that the actions of the teacher, of the adult, are not necessary to get the reward, the human children will still go through the motions, the mindless imitation. We call that over-imitation. Chimps don't do that. Well, some speculate that perhaps our system here, our mirror system or other associated systems, have evolved to be different than the chimps, and this is what's giving us this difference in capacity for imitation. So the children are imitation machines, you might say. They are well equipped to observe the actions of others and to repeat those actions. And perhaps a a newly evolved mirror system or an improved mirror system facilitates imitation in human children, and the chimps don't have that. And again, in the evolutionary context, why is imitation so important? Well, when you live in a collaborative setting, as our early ancestors did, where we had to make a living out on the savannas and so on, and hunting became important, and we have to teach each other how to do things. Well, then there will be a positive selection for neural systems that help us learn from others. In fact, if we want to now see this more generally, yes, we can learn what to do with balls. We kick them. But if we think about just internalizing social norms, that's another kind of learning, and we can see this through the lens of the mirror system. So we will see people doing nice things in certain situations or helping out in other situations, and the young brain can be linking the perception of those actions with their own activities. And so we can see the mirror system is playing a part in learning the norms of society. Just as we would learn what to do with a ball, we would learn when to help and how to help, and et cetera. And finally, if we think about imitation from an evolutionary point of view, it sort of makes good sense that children are wired up to imitate adults, because presumably, if adults are still around, they have survived, right? And they have a good enough characteristics to be around and present and having offspring. And so brains that are wired up to imitate those around you, it sort of makes adaptive sense that the folks that have been before you, presumably they existed because they were solving problems that they were facing, and brains that are equipped to learn that stuff would have an advantage. So it makes sense for children's brains to be wired up to imitate the actions of adults. And social norms is just another category of actions that the mirror system can help us learn as we internalize those norms.